Have you ever wanted to start reading the book, but before you get started, you find yourself researching the proper way on how to read the book? Well, that's happened a lot to me this year because earlier this year, I set a goal to read the Bible in 365 days, but it's made reading a lot harder than it should be. And the reason I started this series is because I wanted to challenge myself as a reader, but I also wanted to read the Bible for the first time. So I feel like I made some pretty good progress. I started this goal back in February, and at the time of recording this video, it's the month of July, and I plan on being done by next February. But now I've gotten to the book of Psalms, and you may or may not be familiar with the book of Psalms, but from what I've learned and hearing from my family and stuff is that there's a lot of stuff that you can take away from the Psalms. And not only that, a lot of the Psalms are like, it's poetry. And so it's a lot different from what I've read all the way up into this point in the Old Testament. And so in my mind, I feel like I need to do some extra stuff to make sure that I get the most out of reading the Psalms. But this was actually a mistake. You know, the mistake wasn't that I wasn't reading. The mistake was that I was looking for certainty before actually taking action. I was researching, you know, what's the right approach? How do I read the Psalms? How do I take the most from it? And suddenly I went from reading the Psalms to just preparing to read. And that led to me procrastinating. And I realized I wasn't struggling because reading was hard or anything. I was struggling because I was trying to eliminate every possibility of doing it wrong before I even got started. And this made me feel defeated because a week before I went on vacation, I said I was going to be done with the book of Psalms. That way, whenever I got on vacation, I could maybe take a little bit of a break. But then I put that off. And I got on vacation. I said, okay, well, I'm going to finish the book of Psalms while I'm on vacation. And I still didn't finish the book of Psalms. But now I'm finally starting to make some progress. And it's because I remembered what I told myself whenever I started this whole series or goal of reading the Bible. I told myself that I was just going to do it and do it messy. And so, I don't know, sometimes I do this, maybe you do this as well, where you tell yourself that you're going to do something and you stick to it for a little while, and then something changes and you feel like it's a unique situation and you feel like you need, I don't know, I just have a tendency to be like a perfectionist. I decided I wasn't going to create the perfect reading plan. I was just going to create a system that I could repeat. I decided that I was going to do the smallest version of the thing that could be repeatable. So I started with the first Psalm, and now I've read the second Psalm, and I'm not overthinking it. I'm just going into it with no real expectations. The goal wasn't to make progress as fast as possible. The goal was to eliminate any of the friction that was keeping me from starting. So where I'm at now is I'm moving through the Psalms slowly but surely, but the difference is I'm actually moving again. I've reminded myself that the best reading system is the one that keeps you moving. Progress is better than no progress at all. Keep learning, keep growing, keep going. I'll see you in the next video.